very young age, feminist issues from a male perspective became important to me, and one of the most important feminist issues of our time is violence related.
It's not just something that's important to me, it's something that should be important to every member of society. It's not just a women's issue, it's a societal issue.
Well, I think it's a human issue, and if men consider themselves human, then it's very much a men's issue. It's everybody's issue.
I think that people need to dig deep and they need to take responsibility for society. And this is something that should be supported by men and women. And the lack of support for men is what's such a challenge for me.
Honestly, men are a big part of the issue. So men have to be a big part of the solution.
It doesn't make sense not to care about it, because you have your mothers, your grandmothers, your sisters, your girlfriends, your wives, your cousins. Like, you have all of these women that you care about.
I don't think we can have a stable, civilized society if one half of society has to live in fear.
I have people in my life, most significantly my partner, Tia, who've been personally impacted by domestic violence, who are survivors of domestic violence. And I've learned more through her and other women that are in my life about the horrible effect it can have on people's lives, and also that we can do something about it.
I think the biggest thing is, and it's happening, more and more people are talking about it, I think the biggest thing is we have to start having conversations. Like, we can't keep tucking stuff away. It's like we tuck away, and we don't want to talk about stuff because it's uncomfortable.
I think some men think it's not their problem. They see it as a private issue, and that's a widely held view, which is wrong and needs to be addressed. I think it can be challenging for men sometimes to find the language on this issue where they feel like they're not taking the voice away from women.
To put credibility around a solution, men have to stand up and talk about it, and be vocal, and be passionate about it, and put their reputation on the line. And frankly, if they don't, we're not going to have progress.
Shelter is extremely important. Unless you know where you're going to live tonight, unless you have decent housing, and in the case of women who have to sadly leave a domestic home because of domestic issues, and children who are caught up in that, having a safe space, a safe place to go, means people can get their lives together.
Women's shelters don't get a lot of attention, but they're incredibly important. My partner used to work in a women's shelter. She ran a children's program in a women's shelter. And I learned firsthand really the impact that shelters make in the lives of both women and children who are escaping abusive situations.
I see this plague as something we can actually move the needle on. We can make a difference.
And if we all support it, we can all help it.
It's one of those projects where one hopes there wouldn't be the need for such a thing in the first place. But in as much as there is a need for it, I think it's great if everybody could come together and be part of the initiative.
It's really, really important that we do everything in our power, and that's why it's important to me to make sure that this issue goes away.